Good day, everyone. I'm Mr. Ong. So today we will talk about the human digestive system chapter in the KSSM biology. So this is the part 1 about the ingestions and digestion. In these lessons, the student will be able to identify the structure of the human digestive system and describe the types of digestions, physical digestions and chemical digestion, analyze the process and product of carbohydrate digestions in the mouth, and analyze the process and product of proteins digestion in stomach. Body cells need simple molecules, okay, or we call the nutrients such as glucose, amino acid, fatty acid, and etc. to carry out metabolic processes. However, food are large and complex particles. We need to break the food into the small particles to be digested by the enzymes. Human digestive systems have a digestive tract begins from the mouth and ends in an anus. Uses mechanical and chemical methods to break food down into nutrients molecules that can be absorbed into the blood. The human digestive system consists of the alimentary canal, the food tract, and the digestive glands that are found in the alimentary canal. The digestion entirely is extracellular. That means the digestive enzymes are secreted out of the cell. This is the structure of the human digestive system. So they start from the mouth here. You have the salivary glands, and then they enter the esophagus and reach the stomach. So from the stomach, this is the liver, produce bile, and then to be stored in gallbladder. And the pancreas produce the pancreatic juice, and the gallbladder release the bile. Then the mixture is secreted into the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine. And digestions also occur and absorptions occur in the small intestine as well. And then they reach the large intestine and to the rectum and anus. So this is the human digestive system. So here they show you the basic function. For example, in the mouth is to obtain and process food. The salivary glands secrete the saliva, which containing salivary amylase. The pharynx is the pathway to esophagus. The esophagus that transport or deliver food to the stomach by peristalsis. Then the stomach that store food, mechanical disruption, they mean the mechanical digestions, and also the chemical digestions by the enzyme to digest some of the proteins. Then after that, the food products, they reach the duodenum. So in the pancreas, they secrete the digestive enzymes. The liver produce bile, okay, and secrete the bile to be stored in the gallbladder. Then the bile here is used to emulsify fat molecule into the tiny dropper. Then when they reach the small intestine, the site of most digestions and absorptions occur along the small intestine. And for the large intestines to absorb some of the water and minerals, prepare fortifications. And the rectum is to store the feces temporarily, and the anus is to remove the feces. Stages in digestions. Ingestions, There are 5 stages: ingestions, digestions, absorptions, assimilation, and egestions. Ingestion is the act of eating. Digestion is the process of food breakdown chemically and also physically as well, combined. Absorption, process of taking in digested food to the body. So this refers to the nutrients. Assimilation is to process the digested food by metabolism, and egestion is the act of removing undigested food. So this is roughly what will happen along the alimentary canal or the tract. So the blue color, this arrow is the propulsions, the swallowing peristalsis, so along the alimentary canal. So these droplets show you the chemical digestions. Actually, the chemical digestion, they start from the mouth as well by the salivary amylase. And then after that, along this small intestine, stomach and the small intestine. So for the mechanical digestion, also start from the mouth and then along this one. Okay. Absorptions, they are most found in the small intestine and also the large intestine. So ingestions takes place in oral cavity. Digestion begins in oral cavity and ended in small intestine. Physical digestions, okay, mechanical breakdown of food into the smaller particles by mastication, which is a chewing with teeth, and the action of the tongue. So chemical digestions, breakdown of starch by production as salivary amylase from the salivary glands. Okay, so this is the salivary glands that have a duct. So the glands and some of the cell, the salivary, they produce, secrete the saliva and also the salivary amylase. And then they pass to the oral cavity through this duct. So that's why we call it as an exocrine glands. So there are 3 pairs of, there are 3 types of the salivary glands. That's here, one is the parietal glands. That is the duct. Okay. Then you have the sublingual glands. Okay, and the submandibular glands. So also contain the ducts to secrete the saliva into the oral cavities. So the saliva contains the salivary amylase. The traditional name is the ptyalin. So salivary amylase initiate starch digestions into the maltose. So the pH in the saliva, or the optimal pH for the salivary amylase, is pH 7. You can taste your saliva. It is tasteless. So the salivary amylase will break the starch into the maltose. So this occurs in the oral cavities. Then during the swallowing, this mixture of food and saliva forms the bolus that is moving down through the stomach and then through the esophagus. So swallowing move food bolus from the mouth through the esophagus and then into the stomach. So there is no digestive glands along this or in the esophagus. But however, the action of the salivary amylase is continuous. Okay, it's continue. Okay, in the esophagus. So the esophagus is a muscular tube whose the muscular contraction, or we call the peristalsis, that propels the food bolus, okay, to stomach. So here the muscle in this part is contracted, and then the muscle in this part is relaxed, and then this contract that push the bolus, the food bolus, forward, and then after that it becomes relaxed, and the forward muscle here becomes contract and continues to push the food bolus forward. Mucus moistens food and lubricate the esophagus to allow the food bolus to move along the esophagus. So this is how the peristalsis occur, okay, along the time from here. So starting here, so like this one, see. Okay, stomach is a sac-like portion of the tract. stomach wall has deep folded. So they deep fold. So when they deep fold is to increase the surface area for digestion. And also they enables the stomach to expand to certain size when they are filled with food. The folds disappear as the stomach fills and to an approximate volume of 1 liter. A million of epithelial cells line the inner surface of the stomach to secrete the gastric juices. So here, this one is the stomach. Okay, when you cut from this part, when you see the stomach, then you can see here they have the stomach gland. Okay, the stomach gland. So this stomach gland here, see they have 3 types of the cells. Mucous cells. So mucous cells produce mucus. The mucus is used to protect. They form a protective layer to protect the what we call the stomach linings, okay, digested by the enzyme and the acid. Then the chief cells here. You can see the chief cells that secrete the pepsinogen. Okay, pepsinogen. And the parietal cells that secrete hydrochloric acid. Okay, so remember, mucous cells produce mucus, chief cells produce or secrete pepsinogen, and parietal cells secrete hydrochloric acid. Okay, gastric juice contain mucus, hydrochloric acid, and pepsinogen. So they're secreted out. Then the mucus form a protective barrier between the cell and the hydrochloric acid. Then the hydrochloric acid lowers the stomach pH. Okay, about 2.0 or 1.5 to 2.0. So these pH values, they are able to kill microorganisms in the food and activate the pepsinogen. That means we'll convert the pepsinogen into pepsin. And they also provide an optimum pH for the action of the pepsin, sure. And because of the the acidic medium, the action of the salivary amylase is stopped. Because the optimum pH for the salivary amylase is pH 7, but now the pH already dropped to 1.5 or 2.0, so the salivary amylase actions is stopped. Okay, as you can see here. Oh. Pepsin is an enzyme that hydrolyzes protein into polypeptide. And then the stomach, look at here, the stomach, they have the actions. So this action we call the mechanical churning actions, which is mechanical digest the food particles. Then the proteins here, so it's digested by the pepsin into the polypeptide. Okay. So the food bolus is broken down into the acid chyme in the lower third here, okay, of the stomach, and then comes the partially digested food. Okay, they are semi-solid. They'll leave the stomach and enter the duodenum through the pyloric sphincter. Okay, this pyloric sphincter. So we are open, and then the food bolus will enter the acid chyme or the chyme. Okay. Ulcer is caused due to the overproduction of the gastric acid, which can occasionally digest a hole through the stomach wall. So these gastric ulcers are rare, and their susceptibility increases when the mucous barrier are infected or weakened by the Helicobacter pylori infections. Okay. So at the end of this lesson, I think you already know how to identify the structure of the human digestive system, and you are able to describe what is physical digestions and what is chemical digestions. And also, you already know how to analyze the process and the products of the carbohydrate digestions they found in mouth, and the process and the products of protein digestion in stomach. So for the next lesson, we will continue to the digestions of food in small intestine. So that's all for this lesson. Bye.